Greetings, star friends. So watch this lag. This is perfect for this video topic, which is time travel and our multidimensional abilities coming online. Ready? It's two of me. Okay, so you get the point. Quickly, if anyone knows how to fix Zoom lags, because this has been happening for a while now, but I just couldn't leave out the cosmic background. If anyone knows how to fix time lags with Zoom calls, let me know. Comment in the comments below for this video, and I will implement that into the next few videos that I do moving forward. So here we are, 2020. It's quite an expansive year. My kitten's over here, but I thought I'd share and really bring a few experiences up that have been happening to me. The most recently this afternoon with the Tofu time travel experience. So I'm saying this light of heart, but also in a very serious manner because this is real. This is what's happening right now. I was just talking to a friend. Okay, here we are. Here's a little kitty. Okay, you want to cuddle? All right, come to cuddle with daddy. So I was just talking to a friend about how this is the new normal, right? We are actually embodying multiple timelines at a time. So let me tell you kind of what happened, and you'll get a more clear picture. So it actually started this summer, where I was outside one time and I saw a crow fly over our house, and I didn't think anything of it. I like looked, not even for a second, just kind of looked in a different direction, and I looked back where I had saw the crow, and the same exact crow had been flying. It flew again. So it wasn't that there was two crows. There was one crow, because I looked to see if I could see the other one in the distance, right? Because if so, that means then there would have been two crows. But there was no other birds around. It was a glitch, right? I saw one crow show up twice. Right? So like a time lapse, a time glitch. And it's really interesting that all these things are happening now, because I just the other day I made a story on Instagram, Peaceful.human.advancement, and I was talking about how time is a loop, and whenever you zoom out far enough, you can see the past, future, and present. And I went into all this detail about what time is. And one of my most recent posts was also about time and the time lapse. So this might be like my higher self preparing me for events like I just described, and the one I will describe here in a few minutes about tonight. So listen, I have my kitty here, so I'm a little bit distracted, but I'm still with you all, always still with you. So so that happened. I saw two crows. A couple of days later, I was on the phone with someone. We were talking about an ET experience that I had, and I was describing to him how everything is changing. I'm seeing glitches in the matrix. And again, I'm outside on my porch, and there's a yellow caterpillar, and it actually walks across right in the railing. Again, I look, or I blink maybe even, and I see the same exact motion, a little yellow caterpillar walking across. And so I look again forward to see if there's two caterpillars. There's not. There's just one. So I saw two caterpillars, but it was just the one. I'm sorry, let me back up. I saw one caterpillar appear two times. So this was another glitch. Now, I'm a very rational, logical person, because I understand in order to get to the truth, you need to be able to look at all of the linear and logistical explanations. Because if there's a logistical explanation, well, there you have it. You can't chalk everything up to being phenomena. But when you chip away at all the logical things and all that's left is that phenomenon, well, then you know you have a real phenomenon. So that's how my brain works. I look for the logical explanations first. I'm not some person who just jumps off and is like, oh, it's an ET, or oh, it's a fairy. Like that's the last resort, right? And usually I will look for it to be everything but that in order to get to the truth. Because like I said, if I look for it to be everything but that, and then I'm left with, well, there's no other way I can explain it. Look at all the other angles. Well, then now I know. So that's what I did with both of these experiences. And then there was the third one that happened just a month or two ago. There's two more. So there's the snowflake, and then there is the hair tie. So I was sitting in my couch here, which you can see I was sitting right over here on my couch. And my fiance had been working on this foam snowflake project. And I looked at her and I said, "Oh, you made another one." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You made one of those before." And she's like, "Nope, this is the first time I ever made this." I'm like, "No, I specifically remember seeing you and Cora, our daughter, making the snowflake in the playroom over here." And she says, "Chris, I'm telling you, this is the first time I've ever made this in this home or anywhere. Like, I've never done this before." And then in my mind, I'm seeing it also sit over on our fireplace. So I'm thinking, like, I know I've seen this before. It was blue. I saw the yellow. I saw you working on it. Like, I know that this happened. Now, this is not deja vu. This is like a tier above deja vu, I believe. Deja vu is kind of like you have a feeling, like this is a knowing that this event happened before. Okay, where I saw the crow, I saw the caterpillar, I saw the snowflake. I know that those things happen in my right mind and my pure heart. So I'm baffled. I'm like, all right, something's going on here. I'm putting two and two together here. And so what a couple of days later, the snowflake is sitting over here on our fireplace on our wood stove. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm time traveling, I'm time looping. So then after that, another one, we were sitting in the playroom. I was sitting in the rocking chair over here, and I had a black hair tie, right? I had a black hair tie in my hand. I brought it into the playroom. I sat down. I was playing with it. My son was sitting in front of me. My daughter and my fiance were sitting across the room. I was just playing with it, and all of a sudden, I just decided to shoot it down like directly on the ground because I wanted to see if it would bounce up to me. It was just playing around, right? So I wanted to see if the hair tie, if I shot it down, if it bounced. She's eating the microphone cord. Lyra, what are you doing, kitty kitty? What's up, Lyra? Hey, kitty. What are you doing? You can't eat that. No, that's not for you. Say hi to everyone. Slow Lyra. So I wanted to see if the hair tie would bounce back up to me, right? And so I shoot it down, and then it goes flying across the room. I see it go flying across the room, and I say, "Hey, Nico, can you pick up that hair tie?" He's like, "What hair tie?" I'm like, "That hair tie that just flew across the room to you." And he says, "There's no hair tie here." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a black hair tie. Can you just please hand it to me?" He gets up, he looks around, no hair tie, it's gone. I'm like, "Guys, you all just saw me shoot the hair tie," and they're like, like what? Where's where did it go? And and then I don't know if it was him or my fiance. They say, "Yeah, it was a tan hair tie." I'm like, "No, it was black." And and they're like, "No, it was white or it was tan." I'm like, "Guys, I'm telling you, it was a black hair tie." So at this point, I'm like, I'm either going crazy, like actually, and this is after my awakening years later, where I already know that people look at people like me as crazy because we're outside of the norm, but really we're disconnected. So even for me to question my own sanity in that moment is a big deal because I've been on every spectrum you can imagine. So I'm thinking to myself, what happened to that hair tie? I know for a fact that I just shot a black hair tie down on the floor, and now it's gone. So we looked through the whole entire playroom, no hair tie to be found. Now the playroom is just right over here, right on the other side of this couch. And actually, let me see if I can. Oh, yeah. So it's right there. That's the door to the playroom. Okay. Let's get us back into center here. So, okay. So then everyone gets up and we're looking for this hair tie, this black hair tie. We can't find it. So then we kind of forget about it. And then we come to sit on the couch and I look and I'm like, "Guys, here it is. The hair tie was on the couch. It was on the couch." So there was no way that I shot the hair tie from the back of this room It curved around this whole wall here and landed on this cat. There's no way that happened. There's no physics, I mean, that we know of that would say if you shoot a hair tie straight down to the floor, it's going to go straight up, turn left, turn right, make a a circle, a U, right, and then land on this couch. That hair tie went through a portal. And I'm not even kidding. Like, this stuff is real, right? This is real. So that was mind blowing. I tried to rationalize, I tried to figure it out, and there was nothing left other than I am time traveling and I'm moving in different spaces in time. Objects are moving around me. I'm tapping into different timelines while simultaneously holding my physical consciousness here in the now, because I know I'm multidimensional, and I know what this technology means. The Merkaba, the aura, right? The energy centers, all right? So you're speaking to someone who is well in the know of how this stuff operates. Now, to see it and experience it is completely different, okay? So what happened tonight, this is the whole tofu time travel, is we had tofu for dinner. It's my favorite meal, so I was all hyped up about it. I was super excited. It's this, it's like tofu, carrots. It has like peanut butter sauce with soy. It's super yummy. You bake the tofu in the oven for a little bit. It's really good. It's really crispy. One of my favorite meals. So I was energetically very excited for this meal. So we're eating the tofu, and then my daughter's getting a little rowdy. She wants to go outside. It's about 7 o'clock or so. So I say, okay, let's go outside. She can run off some energy. It's almost bedtime anyways. So there's a little bit of tofu left in my bowl, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna save this for later. There's no way I can finish it now. And I knew that I wanted to finish it later. I wasn't gonna try to finish it in that moment because it was getting late. I just wanted it to be done. And I was looking forward to eating some tofu, after I came back in from hanging out outside. So we go outside, and I put the tofu. My fiance puts my bowl on the table. I move it, and move over to the counter, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is gonna be so good to have later. I'm so excited to eat this tofu later, right? Oh man, no, kitty. She's eating this cord. So we're outside, and then I keep looking inside the house. Like, for some reason, I'm like, I don't know, I felt drawn or connected to inside of the house, as if someone was in there, but I knew no one was in there, but I felt presence, if you will, right? So and then so we come back inside, and I go to pick up my tofu bowl. There's no tofu left. There's no tofu in the bowl. And I look at my fiance, I say, who ate my tofu? And she looks at me, her face turns white, and she goes, is there someone in our house? I'm like, no, there's no one in our house, but where'd the tofu go, right? So then I start to kind of freak out, because I'm like, wait a second, is there someone actually in our house? But logically, why would someone, come into our house, take a few bites of tofu, and then leave without a sound, without a trace? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? And what I'm realizing is I time looped. Is that I traveled through time. And I know this sounds funny, but if you really follow me, follow what I'm saying here, we are multidimensional beings. We can be bilocal. Perhaps this is the beginning steps to understanding that. Perhaps this is my higher self walking me through this, using silly things like the snowflake, the tofu, the hair tie, just to prepare my physical self to accept this as a reality. Like, this is really powerful stuff. Like, this is amazing things that are happening. We are literally at the cusp of expanding ourselves beyond any realm of comprehension that we have ever known. We're becoming God in flesh, multidimensional spiritual beings in the body. Now, I know that everyone is going through their own ascension process around the globe with the virus going on. We're all learning and reaching different heights. I think this is just mine. My next step is embodying this ability to time travel. Now, what I would like to do next is to do this consciously, where I know I'm coming into my own house eating the tofu. And what I would like to add also is that whenever I was outside, I was thinking about the tofu. I was excited about it. I was like, man, I can't wait to get in there. And so I had that childlike giddiness, that heightened vibration to time travel. And I really do think that's the key to teleportation. Woo! Even in my heart saying this, I can feel it. I think that's the key, is to do it from a place of love, of pure excitement, of joy, set the intention and go and just do it, right? So I think that I time traveled, and I posted this on Instagram, and other people have said they've had the same experiences. I cannot remember at all in my logical mind. I do not remember eating that tofu. I do remember saying I'm excited to eat it later and setting that intention to eat it later, though. But I don't remember picking it up and eating it. I expected 100% to come into the house and finish off the tofu. But if you add into the equation that I've been on this path long enough and I've developed enough skills to now, maybe perhaps this is the initiation into becoming buy local, and as an ambassador of peace, teaching others how to do this, I think this is a beautiful way that my higher self, that my team is preparing myself and others for this way of being, because this is our natural state of being. Being buy local, being in two places at once, being able to project ourselves, right, while we're also in a physical body. This is why humans are so amazing. So if anyone has any other experiences like this, I would love to hear about it. I'm honored to share this, and I had to tie all this together. So you have the fact that, again, I said a couple of days ago, I was talking a lot about time. I was drawing the Merkaba and the energy centers. I knew that once you tune in, you go to different dimensions and you experience yourself in different dimensions. And I think all of this, I think the caterpillar, I think the crow, I think the hair tie, I think the snowflake have been not glitches actually, but time travel, time lapse, projecting one's consciousness into different parts of the universe. I like to talk about something that I call the slinky method, where, if you take a slinky, I know this video is getting kind of long, thank you for being patient, but I just felt like this is so important to get out, because this is happening to me, it's happening to others. And I think the more of us that pay attention to it, the more we can rationalize it, the more we can understand it, the more we can do it at will and use it effectively for our ascension as a people, and use it in a pure way. I think this is why it's happening, because we're learning how to use this in a pure way. So I forget what I was saying before that, but thank you, for listening to this video, for being present with this. If you have any experiences with time travel, astral projection, but this is like astral projection plus, it's like it's teleportation, really. So I know this is just the beginning stages as humanity awakens as a whole. Blessings of peace, life and light to you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Comment below if you've had any of these experiences. You can subscribe. I don't know where the subscribe button is going to be, but it's going to be somewhere around here. Email for one-on-one multidimensional guidance. You can check us out at www.peaceful.human.advancement.com, where I do teach you telepathy, kind of these more multidimensional experiences that I'm having. Everyone deserves one-on-one attention to really dive into their next phase. And as you can see, I'm having pretty phenomenal experiences that I then share with others that I learn from. So if you'd like to learn more, if you'd like to receive any guidance, I'm here. We are here. My team is here. I say life and light to you all. Keep beaming and keep shining. And thank you, thank you, thank you for listening to the Tofu Time Travel Experience.